Alright, y'all, what up? It's your boy Creative Beatdown. I had to redo this video again because it wasn't recording my audio. But I have some great news for you guys. We're getting into this about the mechanics of Super Saiyan. I'm going to tell you a bit about the stats first, just to get that out the way. We're not going to get into the numbers of it exactly. But just an important reminder, first thing, you cannot get the full benefits of Super Saiyan or any transformation if you do not use it as soon as possible. So you don't, like, it's like for potential unleash, right? So what is it, like a 5% or a 10% defense buff, or I think a 15%, I can't remember, it's one of those, but let's just say it's 10%, right? A 10% defense buff. You don't get that buff until you actually go into the transformation. So you've already taken over a bar of damage and everything, right? You've taken over a bar of damage, and you just now going into potential unleash when a lot of that damage could have been spared. 10% of all the damage you've already took could have been spared. And then not to mention, that's also for damage dealt. So when you're dealing damage, right? When you're dealing damage, it's 15%. What it's supposed to be, disregarding whatever defense buff they had. So you're doing 15% damage. You don't even deal that 15% damage until you actually get into the transformation. So you're not getting the full benefits at all if you spend the whole match doing this and that, and then you just now pull out potential unleash or Super Saiyan. But I do understand you might have a hard time getting into it safely. But that's just something to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind for something like Super Saiyan, right? I have a Super Soul that goes with Super Saiyan, right? And it's all about boosting my strike. So if you have things that boost your strike or your basic attack, don't be expecting much of a difference when you're doing stuff like this and throwing out things they don't like, because it gives a small, like a very small boost to Ki Blast, but that's not what it's mainly for. It's mainly, and like I'm saying, Super Saiyan is meant to complement and enhance your close range combat. And now we're going to get into the mechanics, but let me just show you this real quick. So say like you're doing this, and this might not be a great example because you don't have any big strike moves on the keyboard. So this is really just about basic attacks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so that's 7,014. So I'm gonna do this. $7,608. So that's a pretty decent boost, I would say. Like it's okay. And I'm for the fact that it's extra damage added on. You gotta remember that. Like, and if I did 10, let's say if I was doing 10% damage with this. So if I'm doing a bar and I'm dealing 10,000 damage, and so if I get an extra 10% boost from a transformation, I'll be doing an extra 1,000 damage off of that. Just remember, that's kind of how it is. But imagine the whole match to really see the effectiveness. Imagine the whole match, right? Imagine your whole health bar. Imagine all you have. It take 10% of that, because that's how much they need to beat you at. But imagine if they're at base form now. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to confuse nobody with that, though. I don't want to. But no, okay, I don't want to confuse that with that. Okay, anyway, we're going to get to the actual mechanics. The actual mechanics of Super Saiyan, because that's the biggest thing. So there is one downside to it. From what I see, is one downside. So as you see Goku right here, right? You can press square, even from this range. And it attacks him. Just press square. There you go. And go here. It's still pretty okay. It's pretty good speed. Go Super Saiyan, right? So what happens is I can no longer attack actually from that range. Yeah, it did it. But that's slow. That's slow. You do not want to get caught like that. You do not want to get caught like that. That's bad. But yeah, but if you see, it won't even go to the full range is what it did in base form. Yeah, you do not want to get caught like that. So you really don't want to be trying to throw it out too far away. But I mean, you will be invincible for longer. But I personally, I wouldn't do that because you caught an animation too long. And if they're already dodging it, you might not even catch them. Okay, so let's talk about the good stuff with this transformation. So like I said, with pressing square, you see, so it does do that teleport. So you are invincible until you reappear, and you're kind of automatically transitioning into your attack. So you really don't appear until your hitbox comes out. So that's a great benefit. Another great benefit, which I think we should all utilize when it comes to side steps. Because I know we all fall players, and it's just like, it could get tedious, it could get frustrating. Like, hey, I can't catch this dude because the nigga keep going left, and now he want to go right, and he keeps doing. And here's how you cut all that out. Luckily, if you do have Super Saiyan or anything of the sort that has this, what it does, and don't do this in no bad connection and then come at me for it. Pause. Cause no, pause. But don't do this in no bad connection and then be trying to press me for it. Because I'm telling you right now, when it comes to Super Saiyan and this mechanic, you can catch people sidestepping. Like literally, like it's kind of anti-sidestep. Not saying it's 100%, because if they time it right, then they can still possibly get away. But if the connection's good, then you throw this out, and then they move it to the side, and then you happen to move where they moving, you're gonna appear right in front of them because it's the tracking. So it's not the same as this type of tracking. So your character, your whole model, everything disappears, and it's made to appear right at them. So you don't start doing your charging, like you don't start charging your attack at them until you already appeared. So right here, like you're doing this from this far. I'm gonna try to pause it. You see how he already started doing it? There's the leap and there's the actual animation. I'm gonna show it again. I'm gonna pause and do it. See, look, he's gonna do it right there. That's the moment. That's the moment right there. And look at that distance. Look at that distance. Look at the time he has. Look at the time he has to get away. There you go right there. See, look, he's going into it. That's the moment. Here's the difference with Super Saiyan. Here's what you need to know. Look, because no one uses photo mode for some reason. I'm gonna show you this right here. You see that? There's the difference, because instead of doing it from right there, look, you're still invincible. You start from right there. So that charger animation, it starts so literally, so it's easier to connect your light attack. So right there, so instead of you throwing it back here, and then it can miss, you go Super Saiyan, and then it starts from up there. It starts from way closer where your opponent, it actually appears in front of your opponent, and then it starts the animation. Okay, I just wanted to make clear note of that. And that's why it's easier to catch people when there's sidestepping. If you try to catch them with this, you try to catch them with that in a sidestep, and that can be harder. But you literally teleport in front of their face, and then it's like they cut out the startup animation. They cut the startup animation, and they just straight up attack animation as soon as you appear. That's why that is so good. I'm just letting y'all know that right now. So you want to practice with this. You want to practice with this. So you can even be guarding. You can be near the opponent, and bam, throw that bitch out. Bam, throw that bitch out. Just right there. And then you're gonna press square, and it's not going to start charging until you get in front of the opponent. I want you to understand how this mechanic works. So now it appears directly in front of the opponent. All right. So now that we kind of got that understanding for that, use it how you will. Use it how you will. You can even, you see that? You see how I did that? I got out of view. Backstep, cancel. I did the guard cancel. Then I just did that. And so once you get used to it, you could be guarding and then do it all at once. I'm just something cool to do. All right, and so I'm gonna go to the heavy attacks now. I just had to really iterate that. So heavy attacks are really good. They're really good, especially on certain characters. Like I'm saying, another note, please keep mind of this. Super Saiyan works different on every different character, and that includes your CAC. So for male CAC, it might function just a tiny bit differently than what it would on the female Saiyan. And then not only that, but it could be used in many different instances depending on what your skill set is, what your move set is. So with Goku, he doesn't have too much complement getting the move out and everything. So he's kind of just using Super Saiyan Raw. But here's the thing that he does have. So when he does get a charge out, right? I'm sorry, I almost forgot this. So when you do press square, you can cancel, you can block cancel. If you miss it, you can block cancel, and then you can instantly press it again. Just keep that in mind. You can block cancel it. See, I'm pressing square, you can't do nothing. I'm pressing square, can't do nothing. Press square, can't do nothing. So, but if you block it, that's how you can get out of it. You can cut the animation. That's what a cancel is. A cancel is cutting your animation. Simple as that, point blank. All right. Now going back into the charge attack, with Goku specifically, so he has Meteor Strike, Kamehameha, and After Image. Kamehameha would not be our go-to when doing this move. Typically, you want moves that are effective in close range. So like After Image, that's effective in all ranges, but I find it more effective at close range. So I could charge this up, right? You see how I miss? I could charge this up, Meteor Strike. That's a good combo. And the thing is, he can only vanish at this point. If he doesn't vanish at that point, well then he's doo-diddly screwed. And I don't know what to tell him at that point. But it is what it is. So he has to vanish, and if he doesn't vanish, then he's getting hit with that. Or let's say if I miss, I could throw this out, and then I could use After Image. I missed, and then you could use After Image immediately after. So whether you hit or miss, you can instantly go into super attacks. Just keep that in mind. So you can even, if you want to be that person, you can use Handy Cannon. You can use Phantom Fist, or whatever the fuck you want to do. Whatever you think is cool. Yeah, but you could do any of that. You could even go to Ultimate if you want to. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could go into Ultimate if you want to. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. If I would say for the charge part of that, it works different on multiple characters. Of course, you can still go into a heavy stamina break. You catch them while they low. You gotta find ways to kind of trick them though, or kind of catch them off guard. Throw that, and then throw a guard break. It's literally a charging guard break that you could throw from mid-range. You can really throw that from mid-range, which is insane. And not to mention, if you don't want to burn ki, or if you don't want to use ki, not a big fan of that. If you miss, just do that triangle circle. So if they dodge it and you right close to them, so you could literally just hold up, stop hitting them, goddamn. But yeah, that goes pretty far. Yeah, so you can throw something like that out. If you miss it, follow up with that. Follow up with triangle circle. Please do that. So look at that follow up. That's great. And then also, you can do this with Goku. Hold up. Okay, you can go into that. That's just a starter pitch. So you get almost 8,000 damage just from that alone, from hitting that charge up. So it's like if they don't vanish, they're done. But also, yeah, that's just the cool thing about it. Hold up. You can do that too. You can still cancel out there if you want to, but I won't recommend it. You can also do this because they have to dodge, right? they could try to perfect block that. That's risky as hell though. More than likely they want to dodge it, so then you can catch them with that as well. Other thing I just want to show you guys is just with other characters. I want to show you what this look like with other characters. I'm going to show you Gotenks because that's who I've been playing. I've been practicing with and stuff, and I'm really trying to get better with him. And I want to utilize his Super Saiyan. So the thing is, Gotenks, his Super Saiyan really enhances his gameplay. It really enhances his gameplay. It enhances his combat, his moveset, the way he's supposed to be played. Because look at this right here. So I'm going to show you something. He has a Super Ghost Kamikaze attack. This move is insane. It's a really good move, top tier move. It kind of makes his whole preset. Everything almost kind of, his whole playstyle kind of revolves around this one super attack. So I could throw this up, right? And it tracks, and it also stays near him. So then I can even throw that out. And I hate that it doesn't do that on mine, but for some reason it keep coming up short. I don't know why I keep coming up short offline. But you see that? Again, I could connect it. And a lot of times people be trying to block. Or they'll try to dodge. So then you have two homing attacks coming at you. Pause. And then you have so like Super Ghost Kamikaze. You can throw that out. Really. And then go for a guard break. You can go, and then if you hit them with this, you can even throw this out still. If they vanish or not, you're safe either way. So then you can throw that ghost out again. And then you can even potentially throw it out again, which is insane. I was saying, like, Gotenks, his whole playstyle kind of revolves around these ghosts. It's insane. It completely revolves around a ghost. You can also do that, but other thing, if you could see, like I say, different characters have different properties. If you look at my charge attack with Super Saiyan, if you notice, instantly right after, you see how Gotenks is moving. You see how I missed the attack and I'm moving like right after. Even when I hit the attack, and now I'm moving just right after. Not every Super Saiyan could do that. That's because that's Gotenks' hit properties on its own. It has nothing to do with Super Saiyan. One more instance, and we're just going to show you. So, like, let me show you Broly. That's who I showed in that video that the audio got messed up. So let me show you how Broly could utilize Super Saiyan. You can even do this on your character if you want to be kind of a little cheesy. I'm gonna show you how you could do this. You can't do it the exact same as Broly, but you could do something similar. So let's go Super Saiyan. All right, and so you see this move, Gigantic Charge. That move's crazy, right? It has armor. Imagine, you know, I could literally charge at you, right? Do the charge attack and then throw that out, like right when I'm in front of your face. So look at this. I throw that out and then I instantly go into that. Is that not good? Is that not good? Not to mention, like I'm saying, different playstyles. I can throw that out. And I can even do this, and then I could combo into it. Wait, hold up. Alright, miss. But you see that? I could go into any one of his moves. And that's insane. If that hits on mine, alright, that's insane. Alright, let me do it one more time. Okay, but anyway, yeah. And also, of course, you could go into ultimates, like I said, right? Even if you missed, you could still throw that ultimate out. Like I'm saying, this just gets you in the range. Pretty much nothing's touching you unless they perfect block you. So, yeah, this is really dangerous. Really dangerous move. Not to mention, you could also go into this. Alright, but that's pretty much all I want to show you right now on Super Saiyan. there's definitely more you could do with specific characters, and we could get into that when we get down that road, when I go through the characters. It's your boy Creative Beatdown, and y'all please stay creative. Y'all try Super Saiyan again. Don't throw Super Saiyan out the window. Use it for its actual mechanical benefits.